All the Queen's Men returns and season 4 is out of control. Episode 2, entitled Careless Whispers. Dime gets way too close to Big D for comfort. Madam gets some surprising news as she exacts revenge on Santiago. And Babyface is asked to do the impossible for Miss Tandy. So what's good, everybody? It's your girl, Tika Deshawn. And yes, we see where Madam has rolled up on Santiago, who has taken captive her father. However, she comes in with Blickies in hand. She, Tommy, as well as Blue. They took out a whole mob, y'all. That's all I can say. So anyway, yes, they are pointing their Blickies at Santiago, and Santiago is just talking big talk. Then all of a sudden, Santiago begins to get a little bit drowsy. I'm like, dang, what's going on? Did she shoot something at him? Did she poke him with something? Like, what is going on? Well, of course, there has to be some type of gas, tear gas, something to literally knock him out. And that's exactly what it does. She puts on her mask. Tommy puts on her mask. Tommy puts on his mask. Then Blue puts on Cadillac's mask, and they make their way up out of there, y'all, for that moment. But then we see Tandy, who can't pop nobody, but she is shaky, nervous on the phone because D.A. Rods calls her and lets her know that someone just tried to, make an attempt on her life, tried to take her out. However, D.A. Rods does not know that the enemy is the enemy within. Her sister girl, her friend, her sorority sister, her running mate. She's supposed to be running for counselor and all of this other stuff. And she's the one that tried to take her out. And D.A. Ross, like I stated, she has no idea that Tandy is responsible for that. So then we're seeing Fuego, and he is at his home where his ex-fiance's father pulls up, and he wants to just talk to him. He's saying to him, "You were the last person to talk to my daughter. Please tell me something. If you can talk to her friends so they can tell me, the last thing that she did or said or whatever. I really just want to get closure." And at first, Fuego is resistant, but then he's like, "Okay, I'll see what I can do." Now, we already know that Fuego was there when old girl, was allegedly unalive, but he's trying to keep himself from being compromised, from being, from them putting the blame on him. So back at the club, in walks Big Smoke. I'm sorry, y'all, but this dude is hilarious. He has a mouthful of gold teeth. He comes in, he wants to speak to Tommy, and the security guy decides to pat him down. Only thing he finds on him is a knife. And he's like, "Dude, you gonna do some searching. You need to really pat me down, because I got a whole taser. I got a blicky right here. I got all of this stuff that could just shut this whole club down." And so old boy is like, the security guy's like, "Well, you can't go in until, you leave all of the stuff. You can pick it back up when you get ready to leave." Well, he headbutts old boy and even teaches him how to stop his nose from bleeding. Dime walks up and asks who he is, what's going on. "Well, I'm here to talk to Tommy," is what Smoke says. And she's like, "Well, Tommy's not here. I'll let him know that you stopped by," or whatever the case may be. And so she's looking at him like, who the heck is that guy? Of course, he looks at Dime like she has some appeal, you know what I mean? So anyway, back in Mexico, we see Santiago is now, the roles have been reversed, and he is handcuffed or secured to that specific chair. Madam is in his face, and she finds out that not only did Santiago have her father, but she also found out that Concierge was the one that sent him to where her father was, or actually brought her father to him. So Concierge was double dealing. Now this nasty right here, Dime, I am so disappointed in you, boo. You couldn't even go into a room. You literally getting in on the dance floor in Madam's club. Girl, I hope Madam does not see the footage. This man starts kissing on her feet. We talking about Big D. She literally takes her underwear down like, dang, where did security go when all this stuff was going on? And he literally plays the role, puts the condom on, and puts it in the pocket. 2 pumps later, y'all, Big D is literally Little D. He's done less than a minute. Like, bruh, you never had any before? That's all I'm saying, y'all. So anyway, back at Miss Tandy's house, we see where Babyface walks in and she's saying, she doesn't want to watch the news because it shows the attempt on D.A. Rice's life. And he said, well, that's your friend. You should want to watch. So anyway, Big D is trying to apologize and saying, I can make it up to you. I promise I could do better. This was my first time. And like all these excuses as to why he couldn't, it was just so good. As soon as I got in, it was just so good. He craved her and all this other stuff. But bruh, once you mess up, there's no coming back. So I don't know if Dime is going to circle or spin the block on that situation. So back at the office, we see D.A. Ross, we see Davis, and they're just having this conversation. Everything has been confirmed. Oh, girls, DNA was on the t-shirt. Tina's DNA was on the t-shirt. So then we see in Mexico, Madam has basically put this dude up on a fence post and he's gone. He is still alive for the minute, but after a while, he has lost enough blood to be taken out. They gonna drop him off on the compound, y'all. I hate it for him. And again, this is that moment where he tells Madam that basically Concierge let him know where her father was. He actually brought her father to him. So he's involved. So now she's pissed at Concierge and they're about to go to war next. So then we see Detective Davis and she's talking to Madam's therapist, telling him to not write or prescribe, Madam any more medicine. Oh, she's about to mess with Madam mentally now at this point. So D.A. Ross comes over to Tandy's home and Tandy's like, oh girl, you're safe inside the house with me. And she's like, don't you want something to drink? It's 5:00 somewhere. Little does she know that Tandy is about to pull a blicky on her. But then we see at Midnight's home where he just literally gave this chick the most magnificent orgasm she has ever had in her life. He basically went down up under her towel, rubbed the kitty for a little while, and she had her orgasm. That's all I can say. And now she's in love. She's going to find that she's going to end up at the club chasing her some Midnight. But then this is the moment where we see where Tandy pulls the blicky on D.A. Rods. However, she's unsuccessful. She can't pull the trigger. She's trying to get back into friend mode. Y'all can see she didn't know that old girl had that blicky on her. So back at the club, we see where Dime and Big D are he's trying to talk to her, but she's uninterested now at this point. He showed her that he can't do what she thought he could do. He was incapable. That's all I can say. So she's like, I don't think we should revisit that. It was a mistake. We both made a mistake and we should absolutely not do that again. So in the dressing room, this is where he Doc lets Midnight know that Detective Davis has the t-shirt. She has the t-shirt with the DNA of Tina on it, but she's saying that she's not going to arrest me. She's trying to get bigger fish. Then we see, and he says bigger fish. So anyway, then Amp walks in the room. All the dancers are in the room at this point, but Amp has to tell Big D that he apologizes for hitting him. He says that his sponsor told him that he needed to do it because apparently Amp is in AA right about now, y'all. So he's supposed to be on a better pathway, but he says, listen, man, I ain't really want to do it. My sponsor made me do it. So then, y'all, we're seeing Madam, and Madam is back. They are back from Mexico, but in walks Doc and lets Madam know that D.A. Rods or that Davis has that t-shirt, and that she also has the DNA, but then she also has she's going for a bigger fish. So now Madam is on guard. Now she has to deal with another individual that is trying to take her down. That is being Detective Davis as well as DA Ross. And she was like, okay, cool. Thank you for telling me. So then they go, well, we see where Blue goes down and she goes and takes Trouble some food, tells Trouble she's been in there a couple of days, don't get no piss on the floor, and gives her some food. And then she leaves out of there again. Of course, Trouble is like, come on, Blue, let me out. Let me at least go make some money for Madam. But Blue is not falling for it, because you shouldn't have tried to steal money from nobody. So now you're going to have to reap the consequences. So on the stage is amateur night, y'all. Listen, they got a TikToker on the stage, and I'm going to give you guys a clip of this guy in real time, but he is going to be up there. There's a whole contest. Blue is going to tell one of the dudes at the end of this whole amateur night contest that dude's eggplant was a little too small, which is why nobody really voted for him. And it's crazy, but this guy right here, y'all, he's a TikToker. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys a clip of him in his TikTok days, but salute to the actors and the actresses and people that we see on TikTok, and they make their way over into the entertainment industry. I'm here for it. The dude on the end was the one with the little eggplant. Nobody voted for him. Here's his TikTok though. Yep, his name is Mustard Move, and I'm pretty sure his following has grown very, very much so. So then we got Madam, and she keeps receiving these crazy calls, but of course it's Carla outside. Carla's like, well, I get these unknown calls as well, and so don't mean that I'm the one that's calling you. But then Carla also says the Black Rock boys want to know, what are you going to do about Trouble and Champ? So of course, Madam has to now make somewhat of a decision, but she's letting Carla know, tell them I'll handle it when I get ready to. So old girl that we saw that just had the major orgasm from Midnight shows up at the club. I don't know if she done fell in love, but I don't know, because Midnight is not a lover like that. He just likes sex. So anyway, we see where Madam as well as Tommy are down there, and they're talking to Trouble. Listen, Trouble thinks she's about to be unalive right at this moment, but y'all, Madam ends up letting her go and lets Tommy and Blue know that we're gonna see if these two are able to take each other out, y'all. This is gonna be crazy. Madam sent them up to take each other out. But anyway, y'all, at the end of the night, we're seeing everybody, they're cashing out, dropping off their money. Of course, Amp sends Big D away. He has no idea. He would probably flip his lid if he found out about Dime and Big D. So then we have Tommy, Madam, and of course Blue, and they're just trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Like I said, y'all, this is that moment where Madam actually decides that she's going to see if Trouble and Champ are capable of taking the one or the other out. Champ is not the money maker, but Trouble makes more money. She definitely brings in more revenue for Madam. So I guess they're going to challenge her and see what she's capable of doing. Blue doesn't think that she's going to be able to do anything. So this dude who Dime said his eggplant was small, decides that he's going to push up on Dime, let her basically try to lay hands on her. But thankfully, y'all, this is one of the moments where I was actually glad that Amp was somewhere lurking around, because he swings on old boy, puts him on the floor, and she's just like, well, thank you, for helping me. So on and so forth. Y'all know how they go. Then we see at the end of this moment where this proposition comes to Babyface. And Babyface is being asked by Miss Tandy to help her take out DA rods. Like, she tried to do it twice, but she couldn't do it. So please help me, help me, help me. So anyway, Miss Tandy, girl, you trying to get hit. Then she has the nerve to tell him not to tell Madam that she wasn't able to do it, because Madam already told her, put lead in DA rods or suffer the consequences. Now, this one was hilarious. Why is Tommy's hands on Madam's feet? He's giving her a foot rub, and he asked her, Madam, can I suck one of your toes? And Madam's like, nah, I'm good. Just keep rubbing my feet. Like, really, Tommy? Out of all the things, and you want to rub. So anyway, y'all know how Tommy does, and you know how Madam does Tommy. Also, Madam tells Tommy, I think I want to get smoke. I want to put smoke on concierge. Tommy says, so you're unleashing a crazy nigga on a light-skinned nigga. Tommy just says whatever, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Anyway, y'all, that's it. That's what all went down on episode 2 from season 4 of All the Queen's Men. I hope you guys checked it out. Drop your comments below. Let me know your thoughts on Madam taking out Santiago, Fuego being approached by his ex-fiance's parents. Like, let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know y'all thoughts. Do y'all think Champ is going to be taken out by Trouble? Oh my God, that's another one that I'm interested in seeing. And will we see Rashawn again? I'm pretty sure, because he was in some of the images in the trailer. But will we see him soon? I'm still going to be locked in. All right, y'all, that's about it. Thank you so much for tapping in, tuning in, kicking it with your girl, Tika Deshawn, right here at All Things Ruthless, as we recap All the Queen's Men. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Stay ruthless.